Hello there, have you ever asked yourself what it is that you want? Do you want to be able to build a 6 or maybe 7 figure business that should be able to run itself? Do you want to be able to make more money, income, revenue, maybe have less stress, maybe get back more time so you don't have to work as hard but you still earn more? I built multiple 7 figure businesses over the last number of years, and I've helped some clients do the same. And the biggest thing that I found, or the biggest problem that I found with most people, is that they keep chasing what they need. They tend not to chase what they want. What's the difference? Well, if we look at what we need, we need to put money on the table, we need to put food on the table, we need to pay our mortgage, we need to pay our bills. But when we start looking at what we want, this could be something bigger. We want to, move house. We want to buy a house somewhere foreign. We want to buy a nice sports car. And then we start thinking about that on a regular basis. Well, then that's when we start moving towards what we want and stop focusing what we need. You see, the biggest problem there is our paradigms. We're all programmed to think in a certain way. And as a result of that, you find that it's an habitual state of behavior. You get up at the same time, you go to bed at the same time. In fact, you probably do most things during the day within the same habitual state of behavior. But when you start to become more aware of what you can do or what you want, you start to think differently. Your awareness will start to heighten and you start to get better at getting towards what you want and stop focusing on what you need. You see, I find a lot of people have tried to do this before, and they find that they followed the process, but nothing seemed to happen. And that's because of your paradigms. You fell back into the state of behavior. But when you become aware of how to get outside that and how to think differently, well, then everything seems to change. Why? Because you're thinking differently. You're more aware of what it is you want and not what you need. When you look at, say, something like you've done personal development, maybe you've done a training course, maybe you've read a lot of books on the subject, and you found that the changes started to take place very slowly, but then you found something happened and you ended up back to the way you were. Again, this is your paradigms. That's what happens when paradigms set in. They tend to take over your life and they bring you back to the state of behavior you're in before. But when you're more aware of what you can do and more aware of what you want, well, then you tend not to allow yourself fall back into that category. You see, it's all about changing your habits, changing your beliefs, changing your behaviors, changing about things that you do. But it all starts with your thought, because you got to remember, what you think creates an emotion and a feeling. The emotion and feelings create your actions, and that's what gives you results. So if you want to change your thought process, you can change your feelings and emotions attached to that, which will then change your actions and give you the new results. This is what allows you to think the way you want and start to bring you towards what you want to work towards, or what it is that you want in your life. Paradigms are a multitude of habits, and they come through your ancestors and through your behaviors as you were growing up. You adopt them. There are only 2 ways to change a paradigm. 1 is emotional impact, and 2 is repetition. If you want to change one of your old paradigms, you've got to introduce a new habit, and it's got to be a positive habit. Otherwise, you'll end up with another negative habit. How do we do that? Well, we change our behavior. We change our thought process. We change the habits that we have adapted through time, and we exchange them or improve them or replace them with a new habit that will allow us, bring us towards our goal or towards our want. So in the past, you might have said you were going to do something, and then you find that you don't do it. So it's a bit like saying, I'm going to set up my business, or I'm going to start generating clients. I'm going to start calling on clients. I'm going to start picking up the phone and making sure that I start to get clients by the end of the week. And what happens? It doesn't happen. Then you decide that by the end of the month, it's definitely going to happen. And what happens? It doesn't happen. 3 months, 6 months, 9 months pass by, and you're still in the very same position as what you were before. Why? Your paradigms. You see, you're missing a vital piece of the puzzle. And the vital piece is that you need to change your behaviors. You need to change your habitual state of behavior, become more aware of what you're doing, and then, of course, face the fear and get up and start doing it. And then, and only then, you'll start to see the changes. You see, you got to remember, paradigms affect our business. They affect our income. They affect our life in so many different ways. But when we start to create the awareness around that, we can change them. And by actively changing our habits, our beliefs and our behaviors, it allows us to move in towards that. So if you want to be the next 6 or 7 figure business owner, well, then we can help you do that. It's simply a process, a 12-step process that we can help change that and change your life forever. If this sounds like you, click the link below, book a call with us. We will talk you through how it is possible for you to do the same as we have done multiple times over. Book that call now.